Hello, everybody, and welcome back to that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a Slice of Life. I'm Shiloh, and today I am here with most of Wig Wam, who represented Norway at Eurovision 2005 and who are competing in this year's Melodi Grand Prix. Hi, guys. How you doing today?
The guitar
Hello,
player stuck in
fine.
the studio, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so most Eurovision fans watching will probably know who you are, but for anyone who doesn't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Well, we're the band that brought you the Peacemaker theme song.
Hmm.
That's how they know us in the US. But we've been around since 2001, and we participated in the Eurovision Song Contest in 2005 for Norway. We won the final in Norway and went to Kiev, where we ended up number nine, and that was kind of our breakthrough here in Europe. So we toured a lot for many years, and then we broke up the band in 2013, and we came back in 2019 with a brand new album and a comeback. And just months after that, we did the theme song for Peacemaker on HBO Max, which brought us to USA, and that was kind of our introduction into a new market. We had never played in the US before, and that made us come over. So now
Yeah.
had our first tours in US, both as headline and done some support acts, gigs as well, and some festivals. And we're coming down into Miami in March too
Cool.
to do the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Cool.
Yeah,
So you just came to the US for the first time recently. So what was your favorite place that you guys performed in, or what was your favorite city to explore while you were over here?
guys.
The first time we arrived in California, and that was a real thrill because of we played the Whiskey Go Go at the Sunset Strip,
Yeah.
which was most of our youth. We heard about bands coming out of LA, so that was a big thrill. And we did a festival in Key West last winter, which was great fun. And recently, last summer, we did the Mountain Festival in Tennessee, which was also a great experience.
Yeah. There's so many great experiences with America. I mean, it's for us it's kind of a thrill to just be driving around, from place to place. In Europe, we're so used to the roads and the scenery, so you kind of get bored. But to come over to the US and to see the things that you would pay to see as a tourist, going from gig to gig, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
For me, my best experience was kind of Fresno, which was the first place that we played in the US. Even though it wasn't packed, it was like the first gig that we did in the US, and we had fans coming over, and we were like, "Wow, we have fans in the US!" It was like a surprise. They brought all the albums, even my solo albums, and the guys' previous bands' albums, and so that was a great experience. We had some bad experiences too, though.
Oh, I'm
You know,
sure.
yeah. For example, in Chicago when we were playing there, the gig was canceled because of the snowstorm, and we were standing outside waiting for this so-called snowstorm. It was like we're used to snow in Norway, so we were like, "Oh, this is like a regular winter day in Norway." So what are they panicking for?
But I
There are
think I
some
think we
places.
were we were the only band touring in North America in the middle of January. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there are some places in the United States that are quite they get very nervous about snow.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they do.
Turned on the TV and they had like it was like 24/7 talking about snow and how to shuffle snow and how not to shuffle snow and you know things that we learned when we were 5 months old.
Right.
Stuff.
So let's talk about Eurovision for a little bit. So
Yay!
so you guys have been to Eurovision before back in 2005. So what was your experience in Kiev like?
I think it was the first time the Eurovision ever experienced a real rock and roll band there, because we made a lot of fuss there. I remember there was a big launch. They launched a party with all the artists in a great park in Kiev, and suddenly we found ourselves in the middle of the attention, and every other country had to come over to us to get the attention from
Yeah,
reporters and cameras and everything. Even Sweden, which is very unusual that they will they will
yeah.
turn to Norway to get attention, but that was a big thrill. And yeah,
We
we had a
were in
great time.
characters. We were in characters 24/7 and arrived in stretch limos and did all the crazy rock and roll stuff. And we had us a long party. That's kind of
Yeah.
fun.
We remember we were 20 years younger then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But we still like to have a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I remember the most about Kiev was that this was during the Orange Revolution. Kiev wanted to be more, they felt the West more appealing, so they wanted to be a part of the EU. So they wanted to get rid of the Russian uh, strongman thing, that was running the country. And we kind of we got friendly with a lot of Ukrainians, and so many of them asked me if I could wear. I had this gray thing on my this banner on my mic stand, and they really asked me, "Oh, that would be so nice if you could, raise the orange flag for us." And I asked the Norwegian broadcasting that, and they were like not supportive of it because that would be a political gesture. So like 5 seconds before entering the stage, I think it was in the main final. I changed my scarf and put on the orange flag, and we saw videos from the marketplace. They had like 200,000 people out there or something. It was crazy. The whole market square was packed. And when I came out on stage with the orange flag, high above my head, they were like, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I
I was gonna
remember
say I thought I
people saying
remembered it
that they were
being orange.
crying. Yeah.
Just
You said,
I thought I remembered it being orange on the mic stand, so I was.
but it was gray in Norway and during the semifinal.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh, it was a great experience.
Yeah. And so now you're back, 20
Now
years
we're
later.
back. And
And
what's funny about, doing stuff like this is that we're used to do concerts like we go on stage and we stay there for 2 hours and we take our audience on a tour, kind of. And doing stuff like this, you go out and you have 3 minutes and then you want to go more.
hmm.
You never know. In the Norwegian final, we might stay put at the stage and do some more, some extra songs. Maybe they'll drag on stage.
Little surprise, yeah. And so 20 years ago, you were also competing in a national selection, like Melodi Grand Prix. And so how is the experience of being in Melodi Grand Prix now different from the national selection of 20 years ago?
Most of all, we're more experienced that we've been there before, so there's nothing new under the sun. We know what to do and we know what not to do, and so it's more
Really?
like maybe we're more like relaxed, you can say.
Yeah. Yeah, but the production is a lot bigger now than it
Was
was then. And we get instruction to how to act on stage, like every detail. 20 years ago, we pretty much did what we wanted on stage, but this time it's much more rigged, and yeah, it's more a more bigger production, you can say.
Hmm.
You know, we still have, the cameras, the last time also we had, they there's a plan of where when to look in the cameras, and have different cameras, and you have to practice on when to look in the camera when there's a big thing going on, and stuff like that. We still do that, but this time we have an extra element brought into our show, which means that at least I have to do more kind of choreography, because I'm gonna have a conversation with someone during our performance.
Mm.
So I have to adjust to something that's gonna be graphical behind me.
Yeah. So, what can you tell us about your upcoming live performance? Or is everything a secret right now, or is there any little teaser that you can give us?
I already told you more than I'm allowed to say.
All right, got it, got it.
But the thing is, this time we have a lyrics that kind of we want the lyric to come through, the theme of the song, which I think is a very strong theme these days. Um, about standing up for yourself, and not listening to anybody else about that tells you who to be or what to believe and stuff like that. So we're trying to tell a story this time. Still being the rock and roll band, but there's also parts and segments of the performance that is more kind of uh, organized and planned, instead of just doing what we did last time, which was to enter the stage and just have a party.
Yeah.
But there's still
Um,
cake though. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um, so tell us about Human Fire. So what is you spoke a little bit about what it's about, but what was the songwriting process like?
It was like we're writing songs for our next album, and for our compilation album that we're gonna call Monumentals.
Okay.
Mentals. Uh, and we wanted some new, fresh songs on that, and we also need a lot of new songs for the forthcoming album. So we were constantly writing songs, and this was during summer, and we were planning to write the song that we weren't kind of getting along with what kind of song to record next, and then we had to sit down and we found out, what about a song that was like this and that in that tempo and stuff. So we started off the next day, and the song more or less just wrote itself. And I remember I had some verses actually that I brought into the song that had been written years ago. And I had a song that was kind of EDM, electric dance music. I
Yeah.
had been writing with another songwriter, and the name of the song was Human Fire. So that kind of was brought into it, and then I wrote the lyric during the night and came back and did the vocals, and we just finished the song. And then we sent it to NRK, because we thought, this could be a great Eurovision song, and we already knew they wanted us because they had been calling us, and we had some meetings, and could it be possibly? Yeah, maybe depends if we have the song, but we don't write songs especially for occasions like this. When we write music that we like. So, but it so happened that this song was kind of a perfect song for the purpose, which led us to send it to the guys at NRK, the Eurovision, and they freaking loved it. And here we are talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so they had been calling you guys before trying to get you to come back. That's kind of
Yeah,
funny to
yeah.
me.
They've been calling us a lot of times, and they wanted us to do a surprise performance when we had our comeback and stuff. but in came Corona, COVID.
Mm.
So, and they called me a lot of times during the, when we weren't an active band, to wanted us to come back and do a comeback. And I said, been there, done that, been there, done that. This time around, when we had this song, it felt kind of appealing for us.
So it just now was the right time.
Yeah, yeah, because that song, we, we gave birth to that song that actually had that kind of DNA. We
Hmm.
thought, why not? So,
I think we did that song. We wrote the song, we recorded it, and we mixed it within 3 days, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Mm. It was a pretty quick experience.
Because when that song started to happen, we were all were very into it, and yeah, we all had kind of the same vision for the song. And especially when that title popped up too, Human Fire, which many of the fans of Eurovision can relate to. People
Hmm.
that have escaped from religious families or been bullied because of their sexuality, and so I think that's a song that many Eurovision fans can relate to, about standing up for yourself.
That's really nice. So, have you guys listened to the other competing songs in Melodi Grand Prix this year at all?
No.
No.
Yes, we
I really was ready to believe you too. I was like, okay, we'll move on.
No,
uh,
I've
guys.
heard of all of them, and some of them are pretty strong songs, I admit.
Yeah. So what are your favorites?
There's only one rock and roll song though.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
I'm too bad with the with song titles. I have to look it up though.
That song,
There's this,
Parasite, with is it the girl band LLL?
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
written
That's
by Ben Adams from A1. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's a song I could turn on at nighttime having a party kind of.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually interviewing them later today. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Say hello from us. I love the
yeah.
bass. I love what he did with the bass thing there. It's really
yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
that's
I
a
think
cool
the
riff.
production more on that song, more than the song in itself.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
the
really
production
cool
as well.
production. Yeah.
I don't think that song's gonna work doing on acoustic guitar.
Oh
Right.
no, exactly.
No.
There's another one called "The Game" by Natalie. That's a
Yeah,
Yeah,
quite strong song. She's a great singer.
yeah, I agree. That's
yeah. He's
good one.
probably the best singer of the whole competition this year. Great.
Yeah. So,
And then we got
so
Bobby Suggs, who won the first Norwegian
right,
ever.
yeah.
Those girls are legends.
Yeah. Is it weird to be returning to the national final at the same time as them? Is that
Oh, it's
We
does
quite
kind
an
that
of knew.
experience.
Yeah,
We
we
are
kind
happy.
of knew
We
that they
know
were.
them.
Yeah,
hmm like personally you know them?
I
Yeah,
know them personally both. So yeah, you two guys.
yeah, I
No,
know.
I'll just speak
You
to them
know,
and
I've even been in Bobby Socks.
Oh,
In
really?
Yeah, we had a concert together. Me and a guy called Jan Groth, Norway's first rock and roll star, and we were joining Bobby Socks when they had there was Haugesund, where Honey is from, celebrated 100 years of the town, and or was it 1,000? 100 years, I think. And then we were part of Bobby Socks on stage. So I'm kind of
That's
a
fun,
Bobby
yeah.
Sock.
Yeah. Um, so, we talked a little bit about the songs competing for Norway this year that you've liked, but what are your favorite Eurovision songs, just from the whole history of the contest, besides your own, of course?
Oyster.
no, I think as I said earlier to some other who asked the same question, I think it has to be Waterloo, ABBA, I think.
Yeah, it's a
That's
classic.
because Oystein, he used to play drums in a Swedish band called Shaboom.
No.
So he's got, Swedish blood running in his veins.
No, I think that's I'm more into pop, again.
Yeah.
I think I maybe know what the Bernt is going to say, because that's also a good song. That good old Hallelujah. That's a good one.
Right.
Hallelujah. That one?
Yeah, and you have no, Waterloo.
Bart?
Yeah, I can go for with Hallelujah, Milk and Honey, 1979. I love that one.
For me, it's Jing, Jing, Jing. Oh, what a great tune. We actually played that, during a TV program years ago in a rock and roll version. But of course, you have what's her name again?
Loreen.
Euphoria.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lorraine.
I think
Yeah.
That's a strong song. I mean, every
yeah,
time.
I was just to mention it, because I think Sweden
Every time.
have they have had many good songs, and I think Loreen, both songs is very good songs.
Every time you're in a club and that song comes up, and every time, everybody will stop and scream, "You fall!" What a great tune.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've
And
seen a lot more rock songs in Eurovision too over the past few years.
yeah, but we
Well,
kind
Lordi, of course.
we introduced them to rock and roll. We actually participated as early as 2004 and made it third place,
Mm-hmm.
And then we were headhunted for the next year. They really wanted us back because we had a lot of following, and we had like so many fans coming over to the Eurovision Song Contest final, treated it like a rock concert, and Eurovision really loved it. So, but the Norwegian people weren't ready for it, so we were invited next year, and we won. And then we came to the international final. Europe wasn't quite ready for that yet because a lot of glitter and silver spandex stuff and rock and roll. But the next year they were ready for it, and then we had Lordi winning the whole thing, and they actually thanked us personally, and we actually went there. So we were partying with Lordi the day they won the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, that's nice.
We actually have to thank the airport in Athens, because we were allowed to have all our gear in for free, because we were on tour
That's
down there.
right.
Because they thought we were Lordi without the masks.
Oh no.
So when we came with our equipment, and to check in, they asked us politely, "Eurovision, right?" Yeah, because we've done the Eurovision. Wow. And so we got our equipment in for free, and we went up to a bar, and the rumor was probably spreading because there was this journalist from The Sun from England coming up, asking us politely if he could take a photo of us without the makeup. And we were like, yeah, okay, maybe. Can you take off your sunglasses too? Okay, then. And he was so happy because he thought that he had finally got the first photo of Lordi without the masks.
Lordi almost. Yeah.
It was Wig Wam without the makeup.
Right.
Yeah. I think he must have been very disappointed when he arrived at his boss's office, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite through all the
Me?
years? Yeah.
Please say, come on.
Well, that is actually one of my favorites, like from 2005.
Yes!
Seriously. No, I do like it. I also, one of my other favorite Norwegian entries is the one from 10 years ago. So A Monster Like Me. I like that one quite a lot as well.
Oh, yeah, the duets. Was that a duet, right?
Yeah, that was a duet. Yeah.
I remember. This was a great song.
But it's a very nice and smart way of releasing a new single, because there's so much attention, from from the release of that song. Normally, you release a song and you talk to, the rock and roll, magazines and stuff, and they are all looking forward to the album. Here is kind of it's a standalone moment, kind of an adventure where you can do a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, and people all over are watching. So,
Yeah, they are. What a way to promote a new song.
right.
Because when we did that the first time, a lot of rock and roll fans looked at us like, really? A rock band, hard rock band in Eurovision? Wow, that's a sellout, But not so much.
Yeah, and again, there's been a lot more rock music that has come into the contest since then. So you definitely started something.
Yeah, because they start to understand that, it's a great way of promoting your music. And long before, I don't know how it was in Europe, but in Norway during the 70s and the 80s, the Eurovision Song Contest was so kind of stylishly, and everything about Eurovision was kind of a concept. So artists were becoming Eurovision artists because you had to have that kind of jackets and that kind of image and that kind of song. So they were making a lot of artists lost their credibility because
Mm.
you can see them transform into these Eurovision artists. These days, what is Eurovision? It's everything. It's rap, it's hard rock, it's pop, it's punk, it's just good songs. The only thing about Eurovision that is still the same is that you need hopefully a chorus that people can sing along to, something that people will remember, or something that makes that song stand out and be a part of the moment.
Yeah. So, what? So I've reached I'm sort of towards the end of my questions here. So, quick little like fun one. What do you guys like to do outside of the band?
We're very different. So, Øystein, what do you like to do?
You have a half an hour?
No, no.
No, I do quite another thing when I'm not in the band. I working with the financials in a big Norwegian retail company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds fun, don't you think?
Numbers. He's the
No,
number guy.
I do.
Yeah, every band has one.
I have a summer house by the sea and a boat, so obviously I'd like to be there as much as I can. And I watch Premier League football in England.
He's a football fans.
Hmm.
He was. I mean, when we did the Eurovision Song Contest final in Kiev, we had to drag him out of the green room because he had to see how Arsenal was doing. He had to see that last score, So no, we're on in 5 seconds. Oh, wait. Oh.
There was a penalty shootout.
Yeah. For me, I like music, so that's what I'm doing. That's my hobby.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not working, I'm working, going to concerts or making music or doing something that has something to do with music. and
I think I
having a bit.
misunderstand. I think I misunderstood your question because I thought you asked if we do something else, working with something else.
Well, I mean,
with my answer, then I think you look at me as I have to live quite bored life.
Yeah, very boring life. I like numbers.
No, when I'm not working either with with the finances or Wig Wam, I spend the most of the time at my home and with my family and things like that.
mm-hmm.
I like to go to the sea and things like that, fishing and things like that.
He likes gardening. So he's
Yeah,
out there
I think I
gardening.
I like to do things that don't just take it easy and try to not think at all.
Yeah.
Like knitting and stuff, you know. He's yeah, that's
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, it was really a more general question about just what you do outside of the band. So talking about your
Yeah.
job was a perfectly acceptable answer.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. But now we know a little more, so that's fine too.
Yeah. Yeah.
they know too much.
Yeah. All right. So just the last thing here, for anybody who is discovering you guys for the first time through this year's Melody Grand Prix, what would you like to say to those people?
Check us out on Spotify, on YouTube, and you'll see this. There's a whole lot of more stuff going on there. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been releasing albums since 2003, 4, and there's a there's loads of songs. And check out where we are touring because we are going more and more often to America. We love to play the East Coast, by the way.
Yeah, well, I'll keep an eye out if you're ever in my city.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, guys, and wishing you best of luck
Likewise.
at the contest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock
Thanks.
on.
Rock on.
Yeah. You're
All right.
welcome.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your
Okay.
day.